At Culture. Jessica, good morning.
Thanks for having me.
So I was looking at some research you guys did, and you asked a question that kind of embodies what I'm talking about. The percentage of employees who say management cares about them is not looking so great. But the thing that is interesting is I feel like that's the exact kind of question we started asking when we started caring about work-life balance.
Yeah, absolutely. So think about this. On day one of a new job, people on average think that their management team cares about them at about a rate of 72%. On month seven, that number has dropped to 37%. So there's something happening in those first 6 months, which is making people say, wait, what happened? I thought you guys were going to be a great culture. And what's happening is probably the lived experiences are not matching the expectations that they had when they started in that job. And that's a problem.
Is that about expectations, or are you actually seeing managers, companies say, look, it was a little overboard, the demands before, and now you've got to do A, B, and C?
It's expectation shifting, right? So now you're seeing finally employers are being a little bit more transparent about what they're expecting for new hires. So Shopify just said, please come here only if you're interested in working an unrelenting pace. Google said that 60 hours is the sweet spot. So now we're being a little bit more vocal about what we always really did expect, which is productivity, productivity, productivity from the get-go.
What's the difference for hourly workers versus salary workers?
Well, there's a privilege difference in the experience of working, right? So for a salaried worker, many of them have a hybrid work environment. They're working from home. When you feel burnt out, sometimes you can sneak away without anyone noticing. An hourly worker does not necessarily have that privilege. For those people, they don't have very much predictability in their shift schedule. Looking 2 weeks in advance, they don't know what their schedule is going to be. They have very specific breaks allocated. Let's say your break room is 5 minutes away from where you're working and you have a 10-minute break. You spend your entire break walking to and from the break room. And so it's a very different experience. And that's also something that needs to be addressed.
Before I let you go, the jobs numbers right now are quite good. What are you seeing in the fine print of those numbers? That's a red flag. That also might be making it so that employers feel more confident making demands.
Yeah, I mean, the unemployment rate is a tricky number to look at because it doesn't necessarily reveal the whole truth. We don't see, for example, in that number, the people who wish they had full time but took on part time work in the meantime. And so, really, I'm interested in the jobless claims, and that number has been growing. And you see a lot of companies being hesitant to hire because of AI, because of tariff uncertainty. And so, right now, it's hard out there for employees looking for work.
And we see you. Thanks so much, Jessica Kriegel. She's Chief Scientist of Workplace Culture. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.